Vinney Smile Chopra, a man who took $7 to a portfolio of over $250 million in apartment investing. He mentors and coaches to make apartment syndication easy. Each week, he will share his expertise, tricks, trades, and golden nuggets how to master the art of syndication to bring cash flow streams to your business, to change your life for the better. Here is Mr. Smiles.
Syndication Made Easy with Mr. Smiles, also known as Vinney Chopra. He is one of the top syndication investors in apartment syndication in the U.S. to date. I get the privilege to interview this man every day or every week, and it's pretty amazing. He came to this country with only $7 in his pocket, and he has been able to acquire and manage over $250 million in apartment syndications. Each week, he'll be teaching his golden nuggets that he usually teaches to his mastermind class, and his students, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get this information, these golden nuggets you're going to get for free right here on this podcast. So make sure you tune in each week. So without further ado, I want to get down to business with Mr. Smiles. Hey, Mr. Smiles, how you doing this week?
I'm doing great, Alicia. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. It's early morning. No, not really early. I know we've been recording, for motivation, podcast also. This is the syndication podcast, but sun is shining. It's going to be a terrific Wednesday. And I also teach today on Wednesday, my mastermind class at 4 p.m. Pacific, where I live near San Francisco in a humble, nice town, Danville, California.
Nice. Yeah, no, I know you just moved too, so things are a little bit crazy. But today I want to talk about the syndication blueprint, which is something that you teach your students. What is the syndication blueprint?
All right. The syndication world is the best world. If I could change some people's minds about syndication, which is OPM, that's syndication, other people's money. OPM, I know, I love that word, not the smoking OPM, but it's the other people money. And it's the best world. I entered about 15 years back, Alicia, and I've never looked back. We used to own single family homes. Some of the people know from the social media, or they've listened to one of the 78 podcast interviews or whatever, and now we have our own show. The key thing is syndication is the world of harnessing the money which is flowing all around us. Everybody we know, should have accumulated money in savings or stock market or mutual funds and all, or precious metals, cryptocurrency, whatever. But this is the world of real estate. Real estate in apartments is the world I've lived in. We used to buy single family homes, and now we are into apartments, which is the better way to scale up. And we get the other people's money. That's the syndication blueprint, is to get the money from friends and family and neighbors and people that we know at work, all that, to put it together. So we're going to discuss the whole blueprint, what it entails. Yeah.
Please. So talk to me a little bit about so the blueprint is just the blueprint of the syndication business. Is that what you're teaching?
That is exactly right. When I'm an engineer from India, I came with $7 and I got overwhelmed when I was introduced this whole concept of syndication and apartment buying, acquisition, everything like that. So 15 years back, being an engineer, I said, I don't want to get bogged down. I need to break it down in steps. So I remember when I was growing up, I used to really get mesmerized by jugglers, and they were spinning the plates, on a stick. They would spin one plate, then second plate, then third plate, fifth plate, all that. I said, oh my gosh, let me just pin it down, the whole syndication, break it down in simple steps. So that's the blueprint that my book is coming out to. It's a syndication blueprint, step by step, my journey from $7 to $250 million. The book will be coming out. I will ask the audience to purchase that if they would like, a Kindle edition or audio version or whatever. But the thing is, it's the simplicity that will teach us to get to where we want to go. So my whole teaching in the academy are these 5 spinning of plates, I call it. Simple terms, that's the blueprint. It's the OPM, it's the other people's money syndication blueprint, which is exciting way to understand the syndication in a simpler way. It looks like a gorilla, to be truthful. It's not. And that's the word I want to spread all over the globe. Syndication can be done in America, in other countries, in India, in China, everywhere.
Okay. No, I know the spinning plate story, but I want to share it with everybody else. But before I get there, so is this something that you designed yourself, or is this something you got from another coach or something like that?
Good point. I invested lots of thousands of dollars, almost $160,000, because I was naive. I took my whole team member along with my partner. We went to boot camps after boot camps and spent $30,000, $25,000 per person in our team. And that's what most of the coaching costs right nowadays, 30, 40, 50,000. And I want to spread the good word for $2,500, $2,497. Everybody gets all the everything I've done, my templates, my PowerPoints, everything. So the thing is, let me kind of break it down to 5 plates. 5 plates.
Good, because that was my next question.
Okay, good. I simplified it 15 years back to only 5 plates, and that's what I teach. That's what my book is about and everything. What it is that, first of all, the first number 1 plate, or the syndication hacking, we call it, or 5 secrets or 5 plates, it's forming the teams. Forming the teams is a great way, because commercial investing is not a solo sport. Please don't try to do it just by yourself. You got to get somebody along with you as a partner. You don't need to really form a company and say we're going to be married for life. Don't ever do that. Ever do that. What you need to do is have 2 companies, separate companies, but find somebody who has got the same trust factor, confidence, and they will be able to spend time like you are, motivated and have a burning desire to learn the art of syndication, I call it. So forming the team is very good. A partner. Then you need a brokers. Forming the team with brokers, with investors, which we'll talk about in a bit. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is the lawyers. You got to have a syndication attorney that you want to really get in confidence with, and a real estate attorney. And then a broker, a loan broker. So these are the team members that we need. That's plate number 1, spinning that plate. It doesn't take that long. Some people take months and months to find these. I think you can do it in 2 days. I'm the kind of guy, I like to crush a month's work in 1 week, a 1 week's work in 1 day. Action is the passion that I live with every day of my life. So second plate is investor plate. That is a big one, because unless you have investors, your relatives, your friends, your
yeah,
exactly. Then you got to look at what's in their mind. What kind of things they've been doing? Have they been investing in stock market, mutual funds, or buying real estate, single family homes? And would they be interested in apartments? You got to teach them, show them, educate them why multifamily is the best way. Apartment investing is the way, where if 1 or 2 people leave out of 20 units, we still have 18 units already occupied. So you don't have those stresses that you have with a single family. The other thing is the scalability. You can have more people, who can take care of your apartments and all that. That's plate number 2. The plate number 3 is the loan qualification or broker. You could just switch it, because you got to qualify for the loan first to see how big an apartment complex you can afford to buy. A lot of people get into this LOI, letter of intent, and they don't even know where the investors are and if they even qualify for the loan. So I teach that in my academy. You got to really get going, put down your whys, write down your blueprints, your goals, and learn the techniques like I teach you. The other thing is brokers. They are the lifeline of your business. So that's 1 plate. Underwriting the deals that you get from the brokers, pocket listings, napkin listings, like I discuss in my book coming up, and so forth. But the big thing is, you got to make brokers your friends. You got to know about, building relationships is so big. And we'll be doing a lot of podcasts on just that, you and I, because that is the lifeblood. Unless you go letter campaign, texting campaign, and go to the different records of the counties that you want to purchase and find out where the people are and how they will be able to get to the sellers directly without the brokers. So that's that one. And then the fifth plate I talk about is property takeover. That's the property management, aspect of it. Because once you sign the contract, you closed on it. Now the big gorilla, it's not a big gorilla again. I have an academy on that one too. Apartment Management Academy, or the multifamilyacademy.com, which I'm building, because we manage all our assets. So that's the syndication blueprint.
So wait, so let me just go back first. Plate 1 is basically forming teams.
Yes.
Plate 2 is your investors.
Correct.
Plate 3 is loan qualification.
Yeah, loan qualification is very, very important. That a lot of people miss that. Alicia, the thing is, you have certain amount of money, right? You have certain amount of net worth. So a lot of people are just thinking, oh yeah, I can afford 50 units, 100 units, 200 units. But there are laws that we have to adhere to in the lending institution. Your net worth has to be bigger than the loan that you're seeking. And a lot of people miss that point,
I actually want to go into a whole nother podcast, because I have questions like, okay, are they going after my credit, my company's credit, my investors? Like, where's it all come from? So I have a lot of, more seated questions for something like that.
Totally.
But plate number 4. Now, plate number 4 was not, plate number 5 is apartment management. So plate number 4 is brokers?
Actually, brokers and underwriting the deal. I call it that you are analyzing and underwriting the deals. See, the thing.
You know what I mean? You mean like we were talking about last time when we were talking about brokers, about when they give you a deal, do the research then, right now.
Exactly. And give them feedback, whether that's a good deal or a bad deal. Why don't you want to proceed further? All that. The immediate action is so important, because brokers will only give you pocket listings, napkin listings, or any kind of listings, and give you a hearing if you are responsive, if you are making a relationship with the brokers.
I love it. I think I just figured out my next 5 podcasts. I'm going to break down the blueprint. I'm going to break down the blueprint by plates.
Yes.
And we'll go into details, and I'll pull up blueprint plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, plate 1 you played today.
Totally. And you know what? I just have no notes here.
He does it, guys. I totally surprise him every week.
I'm the one with the notes. I just find out from Alicia, what she's going to ask me just before the podcast. And I just, it's all over here. Because when you are walking the talk, that's what I find. Alicia, a lot of people are endearing to me. They're reaching me out in hundreds, in thousands. They're reaching me and they say, Vinney, we want you to mentor us. We want you to coach us. That's what I'm trying to say. I have 722 lectures recorded now. 722. It's going to be 1,000 lectures. So my students should be able to just join the academy. They never have to talk to me, and they can do what I'm doing and better than me.
Yeah, but if you have the opportunity to work with them, take it.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I mean, just your energy and your discipline.
The exciting world is I will be 67.
No, you old man, you. Grandpa smiles.
Old. I'm Munda. In Indian language, we say Munda. Munda is like a young boy. So I always tell my kids, you are growing older every birthday, but daddy's getting younger every birthday. So age is just a number, and please do subscribe to the motivational talk also, Alicia, that you are helping me with, and we are partners. And I'm so excited that, I think I just wanted, a lot of people were telling me for last 3-4 years to do podcasts, and I just don't have time to do these things. But I'm so glad that you be persistent, you were, and we are able to crush it now. We're without notes, we can do it. And I hope all the people listening and watching, this, to subscribe to us and then share it on the social media.
Please, guys, we definitely appreciate it because you put a lot of work, a lot of effort to bring you free, tips and golden nuggets on syndication. My job is to pull all the information you guys want. So if you guys actually have some questions about, Vinney's blueprint, we're still going to go a little bit further. But if you have questions about Vinney's blueprint or anything that has to do with, apartment syndication or even motivation, because he's been a motivational speaker for how many years?
Over 35 years. 35
yeah,
years.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and you can email Mr. Chopra right from his website at vinneychopra.com, and you'll have that in the notes here. So, Vinney, how did you come up with this blueprint? How did you come up with the 5 plates? Was that experience? Was that, like I said, I want to know if all this information is just from you, or are you taking nuggets from different people?
Okay, no, I was taught this business. I paid, like I said, a lot of money, Alicia, but then it was jumbling. It was just overwhelming me. A lot of people are in my shoes right now that they are getting free stuff from here and there and everywhere. And then they go from seminar after seminar after seminar. They're trying to find that golden nuggets. That's what I say. Just hunker down, get a good coach or a mentor who's doing it, who's got a great track record, because they will lead you to the place they are going or they have been to, So it's very important to get a coach. It's the investment that I did, thousands of dollars, that I'm making millions now. See, that's the reason. Because if you just say, I don't want to invest money in my education, you will be where you are. So I'm sorry. But the thing is, yes, I went to so many different places, and being an engineer, I said, you know what? I'm going to funnel down. I'm going to concentrate on this part. That became 1 plate. I'm going to concentrate on this part. That became 2nd plate. Then 3rd plate, 4th plate, 5th plate. By the time I did 5, the whole business was taken care of. And that's what I've been living it for the last 14 years.
Okay, and that kind of brings me to my next question, because you've been in the business for a minute, right? But people who are in your academy.
15 years in apartment investing and syndication. I've done 27 syndications so far, and a lot of them came in my new company in the last 4 years, because I had a partner. And, when you have a partner who's got different goals, different things and all that, it holds you down. And when I became my own CEO of the 2 companies, the acquisition company and the management company, I was flying like crazy. I was like an eagle. And I did syndications every 2 months. I was closing a new syndication. I was raising $4-5 million quickly from my investors. Like today, I just raised in this new deal that we have $52 million deal in Orlando, Florida. We are crushing it. And I raised $7 million in 7 hours from my investors. So I kind of teach the world about the techniques that I use. And if they follow my steps, they could be better than me.
Well, that's part of my next question, which is, so your blueprint and your students' blueprint will be a little bit different, because you already have an HR team to come up with property managers. You already have some certain things acquired, right? Because you've been in it for 14 years.
Sure.
So do you support a student to have their own blueprint, like to customize, take your blueprint and like customize a little bit and bring it down to some of the needs that they will have that you don't anymore?
Okay, good point. Very good point. I would say the spinning of 5 plates is necessary for everybody starting out. They got to get a partner, like teams. They need to know some real estate agent and syndication agent. And I give my networks to my students right away, and virtual assistants in Philippines, in India, in Africa. I've got all of them and I've vetted them. They are great people. I give them everybody. The thing is, then loan broker, I introduce them to the loan brokers. I have my guest speakers come in my coaching, master coaching also, where we record, and these are professionals in their field. So I help you with all that. The thing is, every new student has to spin these 5 plates. Of course, the 5th one comes once they have acquired the property, but 4 plates they have to play, right? Mm-hmm. The big thing is, instead of my buying now 300 units, I teach them the basics. My first apartment complex was 14 units, 14 units. And that's what I teach my students, to get into that smaller number of units first, see the success, and then move to 50 units and 70 units and 100 units, then 200 units. Some of my superstar students are crushing it. They're going to 200, 250 because they have built the network of investors. See, the more money you can bring to the table, that's what scales. It's just extra zeros. That's all it is. It's the same transaction, one transaction to buy 10 units or 8 units or 15 units or 700 units. One transaction. But the thing is, you got to learn, take baby steps, not get discouraged. It took me 11 months to buy my first apartment building. So I know what my students are going through, and I teach them at the basic level so that they can then get into that crawling and then walking stage and things like that.
Nice. And actually, we should actually have one of your students on one day, the show, and we can kind of go through their
Love to.
Mrs. Smiles.
I would love to get, I think I'll ask Dylan to come on the show. Dylan Marma, he's crushing it. A lot of other people are crushing it. So love to have Dylan, Sapan. Actually, I'm just partnering with Sapan now, and he came and joined my academy. They are wonderful people from Enzo Multifamily. We are buying the $52 million on a 50-50 basis. We're going to be managing it, crushing it together. I really love their foundation and who they are, their investors, their philosophies. And that's why we joined hands, Monil and Enzo, into these new developments in Florida.
Nice. I'm excited to see how that process goes. And I know you do a lot of videos on property and stuff like that. So
yes.
That's going to be exciting.
Yes.
All right. Well, I always ask you at the end of each show for a nugget of advice. So if you're talking to somebody who's maybe going through your blueprint or trying to create their own, what would be your nugget of advice for dealing with the blueprint of syndication?
I would say the biggest nugget I could give to people who are watching me or listening to me in the podcast, Alicia, is that I hope you caught the bug. I say the bug because I did 15 years back. Nothing took away because I looked at it. I said, you know what? I became a broker, by the way, real estate broker. I'm still active in California, but we were going to open up our own shop. And I said, no, I don't want to do it. I want to do something bigger. And that's what took me to commercial land, commercial business. In there also, office buildings and developing and building and flipping and wholesaling. I just didn't want to do that. I said, I'm going to do one single track apartment buying. And that has what has really changed my life and my parents, my kids, and my family's life because of being able to scale up. So I hope my golden nugget is catch that bug of syndication. Don't just rely on buying quadplex, fourplex, threeplex, or like that, or fourplex, eightplex, but think about getting the money that your investors have. And I'll teach you how to talk to investors, how to give them, take care of the objections, look into their mind, their psyche. I just recorded 57 lectures on just the syndication OPM, how to get other investors involved to work with you.
I love it. I'm actually writing some notes down.
Thank you. And, students can partner with me. They can use my techniques, my track record, and they can even help me raise money. They become a part of the general partner side. That's a good way to learn the business and understand, and then also be able to see. I want them to fly on their own. So I, set up their investors are their investors for life, because they only become a part of me and then learn the business. They have job descriptions, and then they see what Vinney does, and then they can scale up and fly. I want them to fly like an eagle and be better than Vinney.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, you just got your weekly syndication golden nugget from Mr. Smiles, Vinney Chopra. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And please tune in each week. Also, share us on social media. We love that. Love that.
Yes.
Tune in each week to get your syndication investing and management business to the next level. Be sure to reach out to Mr. Smiles, who he tells us every day, you know, he talks, and make it happen each day. Okay.
Yes.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Take action now. You can reach him on his website at vinneychopra.com. You'll find his contact information here in the notes. Also, if you guys have any questions about the apartment syndication business, please reach out to Vinney on his website or by email or social media. However, please ask questions. We'll address those questions here on the show.
Totally. Yep, we will. And also Facebook Live every Friday. If we are not traveling around the world, we do that show right from San Francisco. I just wanted to mention to the students, please subscribe, put the notification on as I come live on your Facebook. You will answer me real questions that you're facing right there on the show. I sometimes go as long as 1 hour right on the show answering lots of questions. And that Friday, 10 a.m. Friday. And the people are in their work and so forth. But please, you could take some time out and then meet me there on Facebook Live.
Definitely. All right, guys, until next week, we'll see you then.
Thank you. Thank you, Alicia, for excellent. And meet you next week again with a powerful golden nuggets from Vinney and Alicia. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be sure to listen to Mr. Smiles next week with more golden nuggets and top-notch coaching tips. You can reach him by going to vinneychopra.com or texting the word syndication to 474747. Be sure to like, comment, and share to show everyone how Mr. Smiles has brought your apartment syndication business to the next level.